Hey YouTube, how's it going? Lawler, as always. We've got some RLCS predictions for NA Open number 5 and a lot of questions to answer. Is Gen G going to do what they did before? Are we going to see some bounce back? Are we going to continue to see the upsets from some of these teams like Schnitzel with Lion Blaze? A lot of stuff for us to answer. Keep in mind when we do these. Number 1, subscribe, turn on notifications, helps me out greatly. Leave comments down below, let me know what you guys think, and hit up the socials. Second thing, these aren't taken seriously. I truly don't believe what I have predicted is going to happen. Ask me again on the day. Come join the watch parties. We'll actually give you honest takes and feedback based upon what we're physically seeing versus just throwing stuff at a dartboard and hoping and kind of making some hee-hee-ha-has with the narrative. But with that in mind, last but not least, let's jump into Group A, Group B. We're going to run it straight through. Starting with Group A, Schnitzel, the team that took down NRG and Complexity to get the #1 overall seed. This is the most ridiculous side of the bracket I have ever seen to give a guaranteed top 6. Shoutouts to NRG and Complexity, I guess, for throwing that amok. We're gonna have Schnitzel over Pirates. Pirates has been struggling. They even conceded to like Flight recently. Not a good look for them. While Schnitzel is winning some really tough matches. I'm not going to be surprised if Schnitzel immediately concedes and goes 0-2 because that's the NA way. You look really good in Swiss, and then you just bottom out after you put all your chips in on the table, and it just doesn't play out. As for Rebellion and the boys, I do think the boys are like major upset team. So much talent, so much chaos. If Shopify cannot win these series, man, like just be done. See you next season. Like, what are we doing here, guys? They have to. Like, I know that's a lot of pressure, but like, you're RLCS professionals. You need to be able to systematically dismantle these teams. And if you don't, there is a clear problem. Boys have the biggest advantage in the world. There's no pressure, no weight on them, no nothing. And they can just come out and play loose, while Rebellion's got a lot of pressure on them to do so. I would like to hope Rebellion can win these. Of course, they're going to go to Game 5. Of course, CJ is going to have a heart attack. But they need to be making a top 6 to even have a remote chance of fighting for a spot. On the other side of it, I do have Gen G and NRG squaring off in the upper semis. Unfortunately for Deleted and Sim Talk, I don't think either of you have the makings to beat who's in front of you. And NRG over Gen G. We saw Gen G get dismantled in the grand final. Is NRG going to bring that same level of intensity in their group stage versus just the playoffs? We'll find out. And then in our lowers, we do have Gen G and Deleted being the ones that make it through. I think Gen G, no matter who you throw in the way, should be able to handle these pretty routine. I would like to see Gen G play with the same level of intensity as what we got last Open. 3 people on offense, very assertive, lockdown, controlling the pace, dominating the demo game, as well as the boost control. Boost control for Gen G, if you go look at the stats, very, very solid against their opponents when they are winning. There's something about Cheese and Magic Bear that with Justin and support, they look like a different team. It's really fun to watch. You'll hear me talk about more of it Friday morning in the Power Rankings video that I put out. As for Deleted, I think Deleted systematically beats SimTalk, even though SimTalk, I do like some of the talent on that roster. And then for Schnitzel, close fight. I could see this one going either way. Right now, my heart says I want to believe in Wavy, but we'll see how it goes. Very interested to see how PZY and Panda play in this one. Lion Blaze is going to be defensive and control that backboard, as he always does. Over in the other groups for Group B, we've got Space Station Ultimates making it through uppers. I could see potentially Complexity. It's weird because I'm looking at CRR and his like body language, and maybe I'm reading too much into it, but CRR looks tilted. I don't know what's going on with that team outside of maybe Frosty, but it seems like CRR is fed up and he does not want to play. If you guys watch Open 4, go look at some of those lower matches with Complexity. CRR does not look like he wants to be there. That's just my assessment of what I'm seeing. But something's going on with Complexity, which I think makes them beatable right now. I could see Strictly Business potentially playing upset because they've done it before. They usually start pretty good. But I would like to assume Complexity with the talent sticks it out and then concedes eventually to Space Station because of that. I could see this going either way. This will also be a pretty big factor later on. Ultimates takes down Little Step Bros. They're probably very happy about that. And SOS, I expect Ultimates to go perfect through. SOS over Team Evo. Team Evo has, although been in the conversation, has been not looking that great lately. I don't know if just like school's getting in the way or what, but the team doesn't have the same level of composure that I've been seeing. And I want to believe in the new kids. I want to believe in the young guns. So that's what I'm going to do. On the lower side, though, Strictly does beat Bubble Sort, and Evo does get a rebounce against Little Step Bros. I could see Little Step Bros if they're hitting their peak era, maybe playing upset here, but very unlikely. But ultimately, I'm going to believe in the EU Vets over SOS with Eris, and then Complexity over Evo. That then brings us to our playoffs, and we're going to be one big reveal at once. In the uppers, NRG Ultimates, I'm going to continue to believe in the narrative that I think of NRG still being the better team, and that is why they're going to beat Ultimates in a close series. Ultimates did bring them to 7 last time too in lowers. Ultimates definitely needs some victories to make it back and give us an exciting 6 open for the year to make sure that the fight for the major is at least somewhat enticing and not just one-sided. On the other side, Space Station and Rebellion, I don't see a world where Space Station loses to Rebellion, especially in a best of 7. But maybe some Redo's plot armor magic can make it happen. On the lower side, Genji, I think, will make pretty quick work through Strictly Business and Complexity over Deleted for sure. But in those lower quarterfinals, I think this is when it becomes very interesting. I think this is how Genji truly shows their merit. I personally believe NA is clear number 1 in NA. Ultimate's clear number 2. Can Genji show they can be competitive against the number 2? Very interested to see. My true focus this open is all on Genji. I want to see if they can recreate and showcase that they are a team to be reckoned with, that they are clearly a top 4. They can take over a Complexity, they can take over a Space Station, and really make a run for the major. Really like this team, really enjoy the staffing of this team, really want to see that the efforts are there. So unfortunately, I have them falling short to Ultimates because I don't want to believe in it just yet. I think it's a little bit too soon. I do have Complexity beating Rebellion. I think Complexity is just the better team, but falling short to NRG. Ultimate Space Station, again, this is a rematch. Are we going to see what we normally see in majors where you lose in Swiss, but you win in bracket play? I don't know yet. Space Station, to me, has some highs and lows. I think there's potential. This one is going to come down to, in my opinion, like it normally does, how does Chronic play? Chronic is kind of the vocal leader on this team. If you've ever watched their comms videos, he's very, very active in it. I think it's a really awesome trait that a lot of people don't know about. And if Chronic is having a good day, communication is flowing, and the guys are playing well, Ultimates, I have taken the whole thing. This is mostly just because, hey, let's have the inverse happen because it's boring to have the same answer happen every single time. So game 7 here, game 7 here. This time it's Ultimates, which then makes for a really fun open 6. What would that do for the points rankings? What would that do going into the last event? While NRG has already secured their spot for the major, Ultimates does make some catch up and gives them a little bit of a spread. But the 3 teams that I said I expect to have fighting for 2 spots, Genji, Complexity, and Space Station. Complexity and Space Station. Some pretty important matches between them to determine who goes to the major in the end. With 9 lives going 1-3, 0 points for them. They've got to win the whole thing to get that 18 points secured, which would give them 24. And then hope that these guys just play like butt cheeks in open 6. That's what I've got. That's where we're at for our predictions. And I know they're completely wrong. So if you guys have made it this far, greatly appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for hanging out with us. Again, RLCS going down this weekend starting Friday at 1 p.m. Eastern. Saturday and Sunday as well, with our top 16s going down and trying to separate themselves, trying to make a way into Raleigh in Epic's backyard. Pretty cool event. Supposed to be leveled up pretty well. So that is what I've got. Any questions, let me know in the comments down below. Let me know what you guys think. That's going to do for today's video. As always, like, comment, subscribe. See you in the next one. Peace.